Good morning, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge Command MC mini series. Yesterday we broke the news. We're getting into smart plans for recruits, and today we're going to further that exploration and explanation by first diving into our CommandMC tab and then going into the Smart Plans applet. Now, by now, you may have downloaded one or more of the library-based smart plans to your Market Center library. And I want to start kind of showing you some of the things that we need to make sure that you're aware of that are differences inside of CommandMC smart plans. The first, we're just going to pick kind of a random smart plan here, is that each one of these steps associated with the smart plan, well, here's a great example. This one has 0 steps. So we're going to go ahead and put in a task, a call, an email, and a text message. And I wanted to show you that on each one of these tasks, there is someone associated with that actual step. So in this case, the task is associated with Amanda Admin, who's the Market Center leader. Now that is set by default, and in a second I'm going to show you how to change those defaults permanently. But if you want just this one task to be associated with another Market Center leader, you could click on the drop-down box, and then you will see here are all of the different people that you could associate this task with. The same thing holds true for calls. On emails, this is really important because this is going to say who the email is coming from based upon the marketing profile of the leadership team member that you select. You can also see that to send or receive email, please ensure that the assignee has their command email updated in settings. And you can even click on settings and it'll take you in this case, we are in the RTT AMCA account, but you would want to make sure whoever that step was assigned to had everything set up in their specific settings. And you'll see command mail is down here at the bottom. You would want to click on manage and make sure that the sender name is appropriate and that the reply to email is appropriate as well. With regards to text-based steps, you would want to make sure that Twilio, right now, you'll see that Twilio is not integrated into CommandMC based smart plans. So these tasks, you can create a text-based step. However, it will only fire a task. It will not actually fire the text message because, as you see, CommandMC and Twilio are not yet integrated. So you can add a text step and you can have that associated with a specific person, but essentially that's just alerting that person that they need to send that text out, obviously in a TCPA friendly and compliant sort of way. So that's essentially the designated associate, and you'll want to have a designated associate for each one of the steps that you build out in a custom smart plan or a smart plan that's pulled from the library. Even the ones pulled from the library will have designated associates. And so in order to determine who the default is, knowing that you can change it later, and yet by default, who will each of the steps be assigned to, I can come into the settings menu. We're going to discard those changes. And I'm going to come in, whoops, let's go into the settings menu. And then you will see underneath CommandMC settings, there is a Smart Plans tab. And when I go into this tab, you will see that there are 3 different types of steps for Smart Plans. Those are tasks, emails, and SMS or MMS. So who do I want the default person to be that's assigned to all tasks? I can always go back and change this per smart plan, but who's going to be starting off assigned to the task? If you're the team leader, you're the only one building out the smart plans and you're building them all out to come from you or have tasks assigned to you, then that's pretty easy. You would just come in and designate yourself. Same thing for email. Who do we want the default email to be coming from? And if we don't change that in the smart plan, that's who the email would come from. And then right now, because SMS, MMS is not hooked up, basically this would be who would have the task associated with them to send out the TCPA friendly and compliant text message to that specific recruit. So you can see if I go in and assign these all to Alyssa and click on Save Changes, if I then go back into CommandMC and get into Smart Plans, you'll see that Alyssa will be the default for all of our Smart Plan steps. So I'll come back into the Smart Plans applet, and just to show you, I'm going to create a test Smart Plan, just so I can show you that all of these steps should be applied by default to Alyssa. So let's add a task, let's add an email, let's add a text, and you can see that default associate assigned to any task is Alyssa, but I can always uncheck and change. Same thing with email. By default, the email is going to come to Alyssa, from Alyssa, unless I change that. And then the text task would automatically be assigned to Alyssa unless I change that. So it's a little bit different than Smart Plans inside of Command. Each one of the tasks, calls, emails, or text messages can be assigned to a specific person. So let's say you have a recruit follow-up Smart Plan. Well, maybe the TL is going to ask that the DFI write a handwritten thank you note, and the TL will sign them all. So we might create a task that's assigned to that specific DFI or Market Center leader to write the handwritten note. But then there might be an email that comes maybe a couple of days later. Excuse me, guys. So here's a great example. I can set a delay and I can move that up. You see it moves the delay up. Never built a Smart Plan. This is how you kind of move things around. So we've got the task to write the handwritten note. 2 days later, I want an email to come from the team leader just thanking them as well, right? And maybe it's a delay of another 2 days. And then the TL in a TCPA friendly and compliant sort of way is going to fire a text message from their phone 2 days later following up, right? So you can see, and maybe I want the OP to get involved. Maybe I want the PC to be involved. Maybe I want my ATL to be involved. Right? You can see all the different people that you could get involved in Smart Plans, whether it's recruit-based follow-up, whether it's recruit-based reaching out in a TCPA friendly and compliant sort of way, or maybe it's even onboarding. You have an agent that joins your Market Center. Do you have a Smart Plan built out with specific texts, emails, and tasks for everyone on your Market Center leadership team to hit all of the things that need to be hit over that 90-day onboarding period for a new agent? So there's a lot of opportunities inside of Smart Plans to build out custom-based Smart Plans with tasks, emails, phone-based tasks, and text-based tasks for everybody on your leadership team over that 90-day period. So that's a brief introduction, kind of how to create your custom Smart Plans and how to make sure that each one of those steps is appropriately designated. Tomorrow we're going to talk about sharing your Smart Plans, publishing them, and linking them to one another. Stay tuned for that. Hope you're having a great night. Look forward to talking to you again real soon.